Naivas, the podcast club in our shoes. I'm your host, Ella.
My name is Dasha, and I'm also your host.
Welcome. We have links for our GoFundMe below that help to make this whole thing possible. Food, snacks, drink, equipment, transportation, and more. We would love if you would donate. We also have a lottery going on for this season of the podcast. If you donate $5 or more, you will be entered into a lottery raffle for the chance to be our guest at the end of the season. So if you'd be interested in that,
if you're interested to be in our shoes, you can definitely donate $5 or more, and we'll announce you on our Instagram, and you can find the link below as well. So yeah. If you haven't seen the first two parts, you probably should do it, because we're gonna reference a lot to those.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah. I forgot how to start. We did two today, and I forgot how to start.
How to get into it, yeah.
We talked a lot about scripts.
We did talk a lot about scripts, and now we're going to talk about our script.
Yeah.
Do we start with how long we've been kind of working on this?
Yeah. Sure.
Start of it all?
I think we started officially started doing it last summer as well.
Last summer as well. I think around the same time.
Yeah, we started podcast last summer.
Yeah.
And we started script last summer.
Yeah.
So the script idea came really kind of quickly about those two girls who
shocker, are in acting school in New York.
And they are, rivaling two actresses in New York college. Placed together to be in a acting performance.
Dude, nailed the log line. Yeah.
I don't remember our log line, but something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were inspired by our experience. We had a really, really kind of magical first semester experience.
Yeah.
We became very fast friends. Yeah. Our whole kind of class became very fast friends. We were inspired by the characters in our class. Our class, there was originally 8 of us. That's grown and shrunk to different numbers, but the people are incredibly defined, and it's like they were just like a cast of a TV show, and we were like, what if this was a TV show? Wait a minute, let's think about writing it. Yeah,
people are funny. People are incredibly funny, and we all are actors. We all have our I don't know how to say it, fishki,
niches?
Nuances as actors.
Yeah, what makes us our skill sets. Yeah.
Yeah,
so the show we're writing is titled Given Circumstances.
Yeah, it's a very cool
Which, if you are in this world, you probably know what given circumstances mean. If you don't, it's just the who, what, when, where, and why
of the
scene. The given circumstances.
As an actor, you would probably approach the scene from the given circumstances. It's like the base of acting. You should know answers to those questions.
Lesson 1, day 1.
And why? Because you need to know what are you doing and why. Yeah. And why given circumstances? Because girls that are not friends, they don't like each other, they put to create given circumstances for an open scene. Open
scenes are scenes that have set dialogue that the dialogue can't be changed, but you can change absolutely everything else about it. Who the people are, where they are.
Yeah, you can create given circumstances for them, but lines should stay the same. You can add punctuation though, but sometimes you even have to use the same punctuation. Depends probably on the open scene, I guess.
Sure.
And it's really weird talking about given circumstances.
It's really weird. It's very weird talking about it. Well, let's talk about some of our favorite things about it. So we both really like TV.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think both of us are interested in exploring different genres within our acting, and all of these teachers tell us that, and really just industry people are always saying you have to write characters for yourself to play. You have to create stories that you can play in. And so we each have kind of based characters off of ourselves, but every single episode of this show is of a different genre that we have built. So and inspired by things that we love. The first Do we get into details of it?
I want to.
Okay,
I want
cool.
to. I think details will explain
Cool.
how we. Yeah.
So the first episode is.
Oh, by the way, the only thing that I want to say, we're probably not gonna tell you the whole story because we want to produce it and we want you to watch it. It will give you the basic concept. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the episodes. I don't really know what we should expose, what we shouldn't expose for
Me
now.
neither.
But we can talk the idea how we came up with characters for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe about styles as well, how we want to do each episode.
Yeah. Yeah, the first episode's very inspired by comedy. If you watch our last episode, we talk a lot about comedy. But comedic styles, very specific camera styles. We're inspired by like 20-minute real-time episodes, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. Second episode, we're thinking about moving into like some surrealistic ideas
experimenting.
Yeah. Absolutely. We are inspired by mockumentary for certain things. Pretty much every episode is going to be shot and filmed in like a drastically different style and format than the previous.
Which is just even if we are the one who are producing it right now with not a lot of like money, equipment and stuff, I still think it's a very cool thing to work on just because it gives you so much of experience to work on different genres.
To explore it.
Yeah, to explore, definitely.
And I think that like in the creation of this, like that was kind of our main point, is we were just hungry for trying out different things. And like my biggest fear, not fear, I guess, I don't know, I don't want to get stuck. Like I don't want to get repetitive or redundant with projects that I'm interested in. And I think like also for ideas and for for a lot of other projects that I hear about, I don't know, or things that I watch, sometimes it all feels like just kind of the same thing.
The same pattern, overused.
Which everybody does, and like it's impossible to avoid completely. But it's fun to like have an idea that is very expansive through that. Characters. Our
Ella said that our first semester was really magical. Like we had 8 people in our class. I'm not gonna say names, but everyone was so different, from different backgrounds, from different countries, different languages. So different. Everyone was so different and different ages, and it felt like something new was happening, which it was. New York City, for a lot of people, they lived here for the first time, or they came to the US even for the first time and stuff. So it was really kind of a lot of new experiences, a lot of, I don't know even how to say it, like a lot of new observations and opportunities to create and explore. And I guess all of them were so unique and authentic that they really stood out to us.
Yeah, we based all of our characters off of our friends.
Off of our friends. And the second semester, so we got combined with another section from the same cohort, right? Yeah. From something like that. And we got inspired by them as well. So we decided to combine our characters' archetypes as well. And I think it's really interesting because
the thing that I found the best stepping stone of that choice of ours is like the characters kind of write themselves. Like when we write dialogue for them, it's like every character's voice. That's something that like when I've read other students' scripts, that's like, or when teachers speak to us, that's like a big kind of point, is like you want to write dialogue that sounds like it's coming from a specific point of view. And I feel like if you don't base that off of people you already know, I don't know, I hadn't written dialogue before this, but because we just jumped in writing from the voice of someone that I know and have a background of, very easy. So I guess I wouldn't even know what it would be like to write from a completely new thing. I don't know if anybody does that though. Like, would you say that a lot of majority of people that are writing scripts are just inspired by their own life and their own people that they're around?
You cannot avoid it for sure. Even if you do it unconsciously, you still do it because you have their voices in your head. You have like saved patterns from people's lives, probably, of stories, and then you unconsciously put it on paper. I think good writers do it consciously though. Could you imagine how I just put us in a position of good writers. I don't think we are now, but I think we have cool idea concept.
I do, and I think we work to be. So I think that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot, like our classes help us a lot to write script, like sitcom class, the egg characters of the comedy, part 2.
No, but yeah, each of the friends that we've been inspired by, we've also then leaned into who these people can be in terms of archetypes that every show has had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it's helped just to then, because then you see and you can justify, like, okay, who would be good in a scene with who? And what situation can we put between these two types of people that can cause good conflict? That can be then resolved by another character stepping in. For me, that's the hardest part with writing, honestly, is finding conflict. Like, I feel like I could write about, like, meandering and, like, slice of life. And I could write a conversation kind of all day, but when I remember that, like, okay, no, it has to fit for a certain plot point, and everything you write has to move the story along, and like that's why editing is so important and all of that stuff. I find that part to be very difficult because I really enjoy slice of life stuff. There was a movie, I don't know the name of it, I feel like I've even maybe talked about it on here before, but it starts with one person, and you follow this person for 5-10 minutes, and you see them interacting with the group, whatever, and then like just a complete stranger is walking by, and the camera then follows them, and now we're following this person's life. So like there's no real plot arc. Like we don't see a full character from beginning to end. It's just 5 to 15 minutes of a bunch of different people in a bunch of different places.
I don't know what you're talking about though.
I haven't been able to find it since I've seen it.
Sounds like
a
my
couple
dream,
of years ago.
You know?
Yeah, and honestly that's how dreams feels. They just kind of hop around. But I really enjoy writing like that, but it's not really deemed as right because plot is necessary, and plot is like, good plot is the mother of all things.
Because it's storytelling, I guess. Even in surrealism, you still have a story that can be broken, but it can be interpreted differently. And if you can still interpret things, it might be still a story. I don't know.
About surreal, if like how
I don't know about like what you're saying. Like, I don't think a story or a narrative exists without a plot in general. So there should be. That's why it's always on the first place, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, not always though. Not always on the first. Sometimes plot can be so easy.
No.
But you cannot tell a story. The story does not exist if there is no story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Plot is the story.
I know what you mean. The plot is.
But you're talking about the plot structure, probably, no?
I guess.
How the climax and the like
and rising action,
status quo, new status quo. And
absolutely.
Stuff like that. In that case, probably. But I guess surrealism. It reminds me of surrealism. How it's not the same, but it still have some of this plot structure. I don't have enough like probably academic knowledge to talk about this, but feeling wise, I think it's still possible to do what you're doing and being. It's gonna be niche.
Feeling wise, I feel like I value plot less than other people.
Less?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I like characters. I think I value characters.
I think I agree. I think I also value thought. Yeah. Like with our piece, yes, we talked about like how we want to explore the execution of the art form. But like I want to talk what we're going to bring up from our own personal lives is stuff that I want to hear and talk about like from my perspective. Like stuff like father-daughter stuff. That's something that that's a concept that's been explored a lot, but like my experience I haven't seen explored that way before. And also acting in general, like I think it's fun. I think a lot of actors, I think a lot of writers, I think a lot of filmmakers like to make and see things that are about that because it allows us to like express what we love in that way. But like Barry, right? I love the show Barry. Names are escaping me, but acting isn't the main through line for that. It's just a small storyline for it. but they don't. They talk a little bit about acting structure, but like we want to bring up how acting works and bring that to the world, which I think this podcast is an interesting way to practice that, because we're practicing how to talk about it. And yes, a lot of our audience is NYFA people from our school that we go to, but like we're practicing how to talk about different parts of it. Yeah,
I agree with you. And also we're finding ways to make it simple and understandable for people who don't know what acting is and who have like a lot of stereotypes or might have a lot of stereotypes and probably even stigmas about acting. And honestly, I don't want to do something that I'm not interested in. Like, I love acting. And
me too.
Really?
No
Let's
way.
do something. And yeah, I don't think I would be interested in doing anything that doesn't explore who I am, which is kind of weird, but I'm not gonna be actor just for my show. Hopefully, I hope I will act in so many other shows and like films, but if I create something, I want to create something that is close to me.
Yeah.
And also about our characters, I'm gonna ask you what do you want to do a bit later, but I wanted to talk about our characters that we created for ourselves in this, which is kind of hard as well.
It's seriously, it's such a taxing thing. It's so challenging because it's like it's asking what parts of myself am I comfortable sharing, which I want to say all of them. I want to be vulnerable, but like what parts, if I'm creating a character based off of myself, what parts of myself do I think people would be interested in seeing? And what stories do I have to share that would be good to tell? And that's a really difficult introspective thing. And honestly, I haven't tapped into it as much as I probably should have at this point. But it's part of the process.
It's part of the process. I think we're still in the point of school when we're learning these things about ourselves. So it's fine. Like, I mean, I think you'll get there. And also, if not, then you should talk about what you like and it doesn't matter. Anything else doesn't matter. Honestly. Because you'll find your audience, I guess.
Isn't it weird that there's somebody out there who likes something? Like, there's somebody out there for everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a safe thought.
Definitely.
How do you feel writing a character based off of you?
I want to make it right. And not because I want to present myself, because I'm not writing about me, but my character is also Ukrainian, and I'm really scared to talk about the war and talk about Ukraine and talk about immigration in the proper way. Again, proper way. Everyone's story is so different, and my story is really different from my friends' stories who are from Ukraine. And
do you feel like you're finding will work to find a way to speak about it in a more general tone?
I feel like I should, because it's not the main thing about the TV show, but it's definitely built me the way I am right now, right? It's affected me a lot, so it definitely affects my character the same way if I'm talking about the kind of same situation that happened to me. And I cannot avoid it. I simply cannot, because I talk about Ukraine with you all the time, not on purpose because I want to talk about Ukraine, but because it's my country, it's my past, it's my life, it's normal. So I want to make it right, and I want to, I understand that I want to bring people's awareness to what's happening, but at the same time, I don't want to over dramatize things, how people like to do with war and such topics in general. So I don't know, I feel like responsibility for that more rather than writing character off of me. I feel responsibility for the country and for my people, you know,
Huge
which I probably
weight
shouldn't
put on your shoulders,
but I put it on myself. But I don't know. What about you? What about like you creating, like sharing something really vulnerable from your life?
I also, like, I feel like I don't have anything that like is world changing, you know?
Well, I
like with this, but it is bringing awareness to Ukraine. Like, just that sentence, that's pretty huge. And like, I don't mean that to like add any more pressure than you already have on yourself, but that is it's a concept that when you hear that comes to mind, it's huge already. There's so much you can go into it. And I feel like I don't have anything that's that big and full of juice that I feel like I need to share.
You know what's
what
interesting? I know what you mean, but you mentioned father-daughter situation. Father-daughter, parents, sons and daughters, it's a universal topic. It's not American, it's not Ukrainian, it's everyone can relate to that. Which is I don't think it ever will be overused because it's part of everyone's life all the time.
Every single person's life.
Yeah. And a lot of people still cannot talk about it, even though we're becoming more aware and more open to this vulnerable things. No.
I have a hard time talking about it. And I think that's like also why I think I've avoided like doing deeper dives into that character. Because it's just like it feels like I'm speaking for like generations of my family too. Like there's so many,
which is again a lot of pressure.
Yeah, why are we putting so much pressure on ourselves, man? Because we want to be good.
Yeah.
But I definitely like, I don't know, and it's also weird because like I don't want to like shit talk just another human being just because it's my experience with this human being. But like,
you don't have to shit talk. You can just simply talk about what happened.
But
which everyone else
isn't it crazy that I'm viewing that as shit talking?
It is. I don't think it's crazy.
The honest part of it is,
I think it's normal.
I guess I don't even know where to start with it though.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't.
Definitely.
I don't know how to start chipping away at that whole thing. And also like I want to talk about besides just like these heavy concepts, like light concepts. Yeah. And like the fun and enjoyable.
Because it's not the only thing that structured me. Exactly. And same with you. It is part of our lives, but it's not the main part of our lives. I don't want people to associate me only with war, and I refuse to believe you do. You want your family or like your friends
to associate me only with that. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's although it's almost harder to find like joyous things because it is so. I love life. Every day I wake up and like there's some part of life that I enjoy, and it feels almost like normalized, and it feels like good stories or like the ones that really stick with people are the ones that are heavy, which is kind of a shame. And so I guess I don't know, I'm almost changing my mind about that, like as I'm talking through it, like what are things that I want to leave and share with the world. I think that I repel technology. Technology's not. And I think that there's something to why that is for me. Like, I think that there's something I need to bring other people's awareness to, like, we don't need to be as tied to these machines. I just need to find a way to, like, actually live without it as much. Because even though I don't use it as a tool, I don't, it's just, like, I'm too much addicted to something that I need to, what's that phrase? I need to practice what I preach. That's the phrase. Before I like can share information on how I practice.
But you're really good at persuasion because I stopped eating red meat.
I made a presentation about why I should stop eating pork.
Yeah.
Dasha stopped eating pork.
Yeah. I'm not eating pork for like a long time now. Which is great. So, and also you are the one who, you reposted on TikTok this video of like how we made our, like put our, how to say it, like changing ourselves into robots or something like that. It's like the pictures of how cars and how people and how watches used to look before and how everything looks now, and it's a huge difference. Like it looks dystopian almost, you know. And I know this idea or like this theory when people asked AI how people will look in the future, and when it's just like technological consciousness. I'm afraid of that. I don't want to be
too,
because I feel like right now it's so fast paced. Like everything is changing in like really fast. Technology is growing so fast, and I'm really aware of that. And you're the person who brought this idea, like not brought, but like highlighted, I guess, for me.
Good. I talk about it a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's very scary.
I think it's scary.
I think because like I don't know when I'm around all people in our business have to now have a social media following and have to be present on social media. And like absolutely it's a skill you can learn how to learn how engagement works and how to do that, but like I don't know how to touch that stuff. Like it doesn't make sense to me. And it's a weird type of addiction that we've gotten ourselves so far into.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like it has no impact on our real life, and it's weird because like social media is falling under the guise of communicating and connecting the whole world. And like that's like when the World Wide Web and all that stuff came out, like what a beautiful thing, right? But it's pushed us farther apart from the people closest to us, which is like where connection starts in the first place. It's like I speak to you and you speak to a person, and that's how flow happens. But when we have like this little screen in front of us, although we can look into whatever, we can't connect with the person right next to me as much.
Yeah. I remember we were talking about comedy sketches and stuff, and I remember in those kids comedy sketches in post-Soviet country, they were talking, there was like, again, it was 20 years ago shot, how people, about two teenagers who loved texting and who like told each other that they love each other over text, but as soon as they met, they couldn't say a word. And the last shot was like, it's a 1 minute sketch, and the last shot is how these teenagers just sit on the same like bench or something, and they're like texting with each other because that's how they could talk. And it was like 20 years ago when we had phones with buttons, you know.
Flip phones. Have you been seeing like on
my first phone was in the kindergarten, which was like a flip
phone? Cool. There's ads like that I've been seeing going around everywhere that's like people our age that are wanting to get back into flip phones.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I want them to do that instead of these things because it's very useful, but people don't usually know how to use it, and that's why it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Because again, if we
had
discipline...
we're not taught how to use it, though. And also we were experimented on as children, you know? Not like on purpose or anything, but like these things came out when our parents didn't know the ramifications of it. I'm sure some large person in charge of it all had an idea about how it would affect us in the long term, but like we weren't taught how to use these things accurately. They were just given to us. So we were experimented on, kind of. And now that's why I think like our Gen Z age group is so like hard and fast on like my kids will not have a phone because my mom was right. It really is that damn phone. Yeah, but that's a concept, I guess, that I would, in the media that I create. It's so backwards. In the movies, on film, that I would like to create, I want to talk about how you should get off your phone. Like,
yeah.
It's an ass backwards thing. That's one thing I want to talk about, though. What are ideas and concepts besides what we've spoken about that you would like to share with the world?
I really like how you said that I need to practice what I preach. I really love that. So my idea is, and I think I came to that recently, like I know that I'm on this earth to preach love, and I talked to you about that probably, and I talked about this to a lot of people, and I know that love is like the top of everything. Without love, nothing would happen. This wouldn't happen, this wouldn't happen, this wouldn't happen, nothing would happen without love. And that's why probably I really love Phoebe Waller-Bridge and her projects, because she does it love. Exactly. Aww. And I really relate, and I think love is so vulnerable. For some reason, by the way, it's vulnerable because I think love it should be normal. It's normal to love each other even if we don't know each other, and I really want to preach that. But it's really hard sometimes to practice it because with those, again, social media and stuff. We became in love with toxicity. By the way, in love, if you notice me saying love again, with toxic relationships and stuff. I don't think being toxic is cool. I don't think love is something that is a good trend right now. People don't want to take it as a trend, and if that's the only reason how to popularize love,
to make it trendy,
yeah. And if I need to just make a trend to love, then I'd rather do that. And I'd rather create a trend to love instead of I'm in my villain era or I'm toxic and stuff. Yeah. Because again, boundaries is also love. It's self-love. It's love to the person. Everything about this world is love. I think it's a fucking pure form of the existence. And I want to talk about love everywhere I can.
What was that? We were watching Interstellar, and what was the thing where it was like love is the only thing that like transcends space and time?
Yeah.
That we can experience and tap into as humans.
I'm very curious how love smell or like touches, like I mean, feels in different dimensions.
Cool.
So that's what I
love that you love love. I feel like love is not a very big part of my life, as much as I see it being a part of other people's. And like it's weird because like I feel like I want loved. It's like I want to love, but I feel like I don't love. Like I don't know, because like when you so like toxic relationships, why have we demeaned, and like I'm not talking about like abusive relationships or anything that's like super actually unhealthy, but like these certain traits, like the whole red flag thing, like that's a red flag for me. I kind of hate that.
I don't like that too.
I don't love the whole like red flag.
That's an ick for me. I don't like that.
I like the word ick because there's definitely experiences I've had where I've been icked out. And I like having that word for it because it like makes sense. But yeah, but like when we're pointing out like what's your top 10 icks that men do, and like what
I think just love have different forms.
Apart. Yeah.
I think and it's okay.
How do you feel like we can influence people to find their own way of love without making like a right way?
I guess because, well, I don't know if it's going to resonate with a lot of people. With me, I told you that my biggest like insecurity is that I'm not enough, and I actually talked probably in the previous episodes that I'm not enough and stuff. I'm 5 by the way when I said that. So am I not enough? Is it like a confirmation? And I understood that instead of thinking like I'm not enough, I should think I'm abundant, or there is an abundance of something else. There is an abundance of light, of sun, of my humor, of my laughter, of my tears. There is abundance instead of lack of something. And also, by the way, Tina said that in our class. Tina Zaremba, who is our voiceover teacher. And I think to answer that is that we should say it's a habit. We have this habit to be toxic. We have this habit to assume the worst. But as soon as you change your habit to assume the best of people and to see the best of people and to just, instead of being in your villain era, be
pointing
in your
that are wrong.
Loving era, be in your fairy tale era, or I don't know. And I'm not even talking about delusions, even though it's okay. If you want to be delusional, it's fine. It's your choice. I don't care.
Also, look at all of these words that we've created.
It's not... everything is like a social media, and I agree with you. You see, like we like really connect here, because this love is not preached in the social media as much as I think it should be, because especially when social media will influencers have so much power over people, over people's mindsets. I don't think it's not a right again, but I would choose to do love and to like avoid violence. And if we have this consciousness, why don't we use it for the better? Why don't we use... And again, I'm not even talking about romantic love, because I said that there is different form of love, definitely, but I don't know, it can be like, even you say I don't love, but you still have it though, even if you don't maybe consciously see it right now.
I think the reason
or like
why like love doesn't feel like a big part of my life is because I've seen the way that other people love, and like the words that I associate with, that you would say, okay, Ella, that is a loving relationship for you. I might have a different word in my head for the way that like I think and describe and feel about that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like my romantic friends that are like incredibly just romantics. I like the way that they paint that picture is so beautiful. And it's like, yes, your reality is like what you make it to be. And like, I think that comes with what words do you use when you speak about something. Like that helps to paint that picture of reality that you have. And the pictures that I paint for myself with love just are not as pretty as other people's. And yeah, I compare too much. I am too much of a comparison person, and it's a bad habit that I have. Whatever. Yeah, I forgot where I was started with that thought and where I was going with it.
Well, I don't know where you're going, but that you don't love.
Yeah, and I would like to love the way that other people do, but the way that I love just isn't the way that other people's do. So it's like I have to fall in love with my own way of it.
And again, there
That's
is
just
no
a theme
have to.
of everybody's life. Yeah, there is no have to.
There is no have to. Love is just there whenever. If you don't believe in love, love is still there. It doesn't cancel it. It's like I saw this video of Bashar. I don't want to explain who's that, but you maybe look it up if you want to. But he was talking. It's a dude who's channeling, and
Is it that dude?
channeling. Yeah, that's what I showed you that. What did you say?
That dude.
Yeah, that dude who's channeling. And he said, "You are so supported that you are even allowed to think that you are not." And it just sticks with me. Like, we have so much, I think, free will, but we are so we put ourselves in those frames and like societal like caves that doesn't allow us to grow and to fully explore our potential and fully explore existence and just like this earth.
So
that's insane.
No,
it's not even insane. That's even like 10%
of what you feel about love. It's cool. Cool thing to want to share within your art.
But I was about to say that I don't think I am practicing that much. I mean, I'm trying to, but it's really complicated because, sorry, I'm just like banging on the wall for the sound. But I'm trying to, and it's hard because you have to sometimes push yourself and force yourself to love things or to love people or to accept people, because love is acceptance. I feel like love can be described however you want. It's your love. But love is just general words.
You make your own reality.
Yeah. And when, you know how they say, when darkness is, how do you explain darkness? Darkness is just the lack of light. Same hatred.
The lack of something.
The lack of love.
The thing overpowering. Although, what do you, like, if we were to just live in a world constantly full of love and abundance and acceptance, would we even be able to recognize that it's there?
I think to live in the world full of that, we have to come to the level of full consciousness. And I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible
I don't
either.
think it's possible in this
I think there's
dimension.
something for human consciousness that we need to have, like the yin yang, the balance, all of these things. We're not able to just like ascend to one thing, which I think is interesting. Like in Greek culture, the Greek gods were very kind of like, each god was of one note. And they were more afraid of their gods than they were, and they did things in fear
gods
rather
would not
than
help them.
And there was a book I read recently where these shamans could connect to the pantheon that had these 64 different gods, and each god was of kind of one thing. And so it's interesting. Like, I wonder if higher dimensional beings and sources like are almost stuck is the wrong word, but like stuck within one thing more. And that's like what makes human oddity so beautiful, is our ability to switch and change so much, and our need for balance in order to see the opposite side of something. Like, in order to have love, we have to be able to know what hate is like. In order to see light, we need to have darkness.
And that's I guess also a type of mindset that is for humans in this dimension, because I guess I'm gonna talk like that. I'm gonna talk like I'm a fairy, because I guess we got used to it. We got used to contrasting. We got used to. That's why. Okay, maybe I don't want to touch on this topic. Should I though?
Sure, I don't know what you're gonna say.
I don't know. I don't want to become a dark though. I'm not gonna make it dark. I'm gonna talk.
Make it dark. Yeah, talk whatever you want to talk about.
I want to talk about how when I was not almost diagnosed. Well, I was diagnosed, not almost, with borderline personality disorder, and how this disorder talks about how I see a world in white and black. It's not colorblind. I'm just seeing the world either it's really evil or really good, or really, or I love or I hate. Like I would never be in the middle, and my mood would change like drastically during the day, and people around me wouldn't understand why it's going on. But I'm gonna say probably something really controversial, and that's why I don't really want to talk about it, but I started. That I don't think those things like this diagnosis actually exist. I think
I was just about to,
because they told me that I probably have depression and I had anxiety and stuff like that.
And this is the range of the human experience.
Yeah,
everybody is probably going to experience depression, but like with our kind of mass amount of information and knowing, and like people who are interested in being like mental health, we've turned from something that people have into like a career. And from that career, I don't want to say things controversial, guys. I'm going to say something controversial. Listen, therapists are out of work if they make you better. And I think the concept of therapy, the concept of self, all of that stuff is fabulous. But what we've turned it into is kind of weird, because now the government is profiting off of people's diagnoses. And that is just, it kind of creates this like never-ending thing. And the human brain is so powerful. Think about placebo effects. Like, if you truly believe that it's whatever, thousands of examples, placebo effect. The brain is powerful. If you are being told, and if you are telling yourself, and if you are truly practicing active and helpful forms of growth, you will change and you will grow. But now growth and change is marked in all of these different boxes of psychology. It's weird.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being labeled rather than I'm exploring this like life. And I think why I said also that I don't believe that those diagnoses actually exist. And I know that people could give me like a lot of arguments, and I'm not here to like argue with anyone. I'm saying my opinion and my experience. I feel like I've just been holding so much potential inside of me about spirituality, about my career, about acting, about relationships, that I was not processing it. I was just holding, and I was not doing anything. And also, I was 14, I guess, or 15 when I was
so you're in the midst of puberty?
Exactly.
You're in the midst when your brain already naturally, and your hormones and your body state is jumping rapidly between.
Yeah, and I think like I think spiritual therapist is something that I'm not looking forward to a stable therapy every week. I guess it's a good start if you want to have like understanding of something. Spiritual therapy in my case, like if you never had therapy before and you want to maybe know some basics, probably it's good to start from like I have like 6 months of therapy, and then go and explore it by yourself, because that's almost how it happened in my case. I've been in therapy for a year. She was a not spiritual person. I don't think actually I had a really good therapist, by the way, but I decided to stop therapy, and everything that I was exploring by myself, about myself, and it benefit me way better than her therapy benefit me, which comes to your point. So I guess again, just
do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do. Yes, I'm talking about my experience, and
same.
I'm not even preaching, or I'm not even trying to change anyone's mind.
And me neither. But what frustrates me about, I think, people who I have had this conversation with and who disagree vehemently with me is, while I'm not trying to change their mind, while I am trying to have a discussion about how we each have approached self-growth, they want to have an argument, and they want to change my mind. They want to bring me into therapy.
Which also reminds me of religion.
Which also reminds me of religion. And with any kind of topic in general, once it becomes a convincing game, once it becomes a winning-losing, once it becomes I want you to come to my side, that's when, something I've realized recently too, that's when I think I don't trust what that topic is, or what that belief on that topic is. I like it when I like to play devil's advocate for myself. I like to change my mind. I like to have my mind changed, but what I don't like to do is be stuck in a box and told that if I don't agree with you on something, it makes me a bad person because I have a different opinion on something.
And I don't know how do you feel? You've noticed, like, when you were just registering on, like, website or something like that, and they ask you to
like online therapy?
Not therapy, but when you just, like, you have to choose what is your religion, for example, on websites. And there are religions, atheist, agnostic, and spiritual. And I choose spiritual because it's the only thing that kind of close to me. But at the same time, I feel again that I am labeled. I feel again that I don't even know what my spirituality is.
Me neither. It changes every day.
My knowledge are like just so wide, but at the same time really small about myself. And like, yeah, like I don't want to put myself in again to a group of people that we might have so many different views on stuff, and it's okay. But I don't know, I guess, well, there is a what's his name, Sapolsky, I guess his last name, I don't remember, I don't remember his last name. He's a professor of biology, and he has a lot of videos on YouTube about, like, biology and stuff. He has podcasts, interviews, books. So I watched in one of those videos that he was talking about, he was saying that people has to make classification in their mind because it's easier for us to understand things. So I guess in that case, people has to put us in some label, because if they don't understand, it's we get either mad and angry and violent, or I don't know, I don't even know what else, or we just
we we've been labeling for a very long time in order to
everything
survive. Like, this plant doesn't kill me. Exactly. This mushroom makes me trip balls. This mushroom might kill me. And this one tastes like meat. This is
big plant. This is tree. Let's call it tree because it's a big plant. Exactly.
We have to. We've had to classify.
Yeah, but at the same time, when it comes to, like, beliefs and and honestly speaking, we had this conversation. Everything that you believe in is true.
Yeah.
Everything is
everything everybody believes in is true.
Yeah. If you're Christian, you're right. If you're Muslim, you're right. If I'm me, I'm right.
I love that scene in The Good Place. It's in that opening episode, Good Place TV show.
Yeah.
Where chick dies. This isn't really a spoiler, but the chick dies and she's like, so who got it right?
Yeah.
And he's like, everybody got a little bit right, except for this one guy
who was on mushrooms.
Yeah. I love that little
tip.
But yeah, everybody's right, and whatever you, like, put belief into is what you put belief into. What I feel about what you were saying, like, when you have to go online and put yourself in a box for something, I think it's different when we're boxing things on, like, a verbal level or on just, like, in our brain level. But those types of boxes make me feel like I'm just a piece of data for the government to collect for this specific website to say we have 25% of our people classify themselves as agnostic, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and it's a weird thing. Like, why do you need to know what my religious values are for me to sign up on a website? Yeah. I feel weird about it.
I'm thinking about how we tied it up to screenwriting.
How we tie this up. Well, I think let's come back to it. Like, what stories we want to share.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What stories? So right now we have...
Or all of this concept of what we're talking about, that believe what you want to believe. As long as you are not hurting anybody.
Oh, definitely.
Believe what you want to believe. Do what you want to do.
That's a good... No,
how do you share that? I think that's a fairly simple concept, but to share that through art is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I think it got famous recently how Quentin Tarantino said, as a director, your job is not to have a vision. Your job is to show it, to express it, to make it real. You know what I mean? So your job as a director not to have a vision, but to share the vision. To share the vision. Yeah, basically. Side note, I don't know what it was for. What were we talking about?
For screenwriting?
Yeah, we have writing for actors.
Right now.
Oh, by the way, it's 6:14, so I guess we talked the whole time. Did we? It's all good. We have writing for actors class right now at NIFA.
Yeah.
And we
learning a lot.
Yeah.
About screenplays. I love language, man. Language is so fascinating. Like, so learning. Okay, yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. Anyway. By the third one.
Okay, so yeah, like technical elements of screenplay, how long certain action blocks should be, and how long dialogue could be, but like that Tarantino thing, painting the vision for your other people to come in and help you create it. I love language. That's been my favorite part about writing so far, is like certain words put together create a completely different
imagery,
landscape. You know, we have a teacher, Brennan, who was actually on this podcast before. When you read a book, do you get a full movie in your head?
I was just about to talk to you. Well, I definitely see pictures, like I have a whole movie in my head, but I also have a narrator who I hear in my head reading the book. So, well, if I get really into deep, if I have really into deep book, like I even forget that I'm reading or I'm like surrounded by something, I see it as a movie. And
Brennan doesn't, which is why I brought up Brennan.
Yeah.
When he reads, he literally is just reading the words.
And by the way, side note, I wanted to talk how you can approach a character through thinking what is happening in their head while they're thinking. Do they have narrator or narrator? How to say it?
Yeah, narrator.
Narrator. Or do they have like just pictures? Or if they have pictures, how accurately they see these pictures? So that would be a cool way to
like talk about building a character. Yeah.
So what stories you would like to?
I just kind of wanted to talk about on the
writing
like 3 episodes ago I brought up my cilantro story.
Yeah. By the way,
life-changing.
Who doesn't know cilantro story? Watch this episode.
It's gonna change the world one day.
That episode.
However, I'm not writing about my cilantro story. Earlier I was talking about... No, I'm not.
I know.
Too
Pretend
far
like I
into
don't know.
Earlier I was talking about how I don't really value plot. However, interestingly enough, writing this, the plot has come so quickly for me. And it's weird because I think that's why I feel weird about it, because I'm like, ooh, I have a plot. Like, I have to fill in details of everything else, even though I have the plot. It feels icky. Like, I would rather have a bunch of different little funny moments and find a through line for it. But it's, you know what? I have a whole story.
Yeah.
Where it, like, in all of these...
Hero's journey?
Yep. Hero's journey and just fucking plot structured shit. It's all of the points are marked out, so that's pretty exciting. But I'm having a fun time because I'm writing about I found a way to write about the core of this character, which I was like kind of avoiding, which is and I went through, which is a girl who has been very one track and clear, destined kind of path set out for her whole life that gets completely sidetracked, and she learns about like a completely other side of life, and then has to contemplate like, do I do the thing that like my goals and my dreams and like my core wants to do, or do I have a good time? And I'm happy that I'm practicing talking about that now, because I need to be better, and I need to practice talking about this concept more, because it's like overall something else in my art that I would like to give to people. Our generation has this huge sense of like, it's cool to not be passionate about something. Like the idea of like, I didn't choose to be born. I didn't choose to live on this life. And so I'm just going to, fuck it and waste it all away because it doesn't matter. And I was very heavily surrounded by a lot of those people for a very long time. And it was some of the most fun experiences of my life, like the freedom that I experienced. And it's a weird like type of temptation where it's the laziness and the complete lack of pursuit is ambition is really like comforting, but it's very short-term comforting. And there's something to like putting in hard work that makes people feel good once that work has been paid off. And I'm tired of us pushing this idea of like, it's okay if you like, haha, bed rot, like, lol, I'm rotting in my bed. That's not attractive. That's not something that we should be like exemplifying. It's okay to have rest, but rotting in your bed, those are two different things. And I can't still like fully describe like how I feel that in my brain, but I'm writing it out through a character's experience. And I'm happy to be practicing working on that.
Yeah. I like that concept.
It's a big thing I want to share.
You've been talking about it. Like, I know you care about that.
Yeah, and how subtle that's not how I want to phrase that. How easily manipulated the human brain can be.
Mm-hmm.
Who you surround yourself with has everything to do with who you are.
Isn't that insane though? How only from you already created 2 stories and 2 characters, and it's different part of like your life
Of who I am.
Yeah.
Interesting,
who you
actually.
Like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can be more.
Yeah.
You can remember one story from your childhood, bam, story.
Yeah.
Tuesday morning, bang.
Tuesday morning, bam. Doesn't matter.
I don't want to explain. Yeah.
What are you writing about right now? What do you love that you're in what you're writing about?
So I'm gonna talk like you did, because I really like how you did say about everything, but not about everything. You know, at the same time. I think I really love music.
Mm-hmm. You really do.
I really do. I'm obsessed with music. First I wanted to be a musician, and then I wanted to be an actor. And I'm an actor, and I'm a musician, but I'm not really a musician. I guess I cannot call myself a musician, even though I write music. Yet, hopefully. Yeah, and it makes me sad. It makes me really sad because I really like music and I really want to do music. So yeah, I'm writing about a girl who is obsessed with music as well, and who really wants to do music, and for some reason it's not working out. I'm not gonna tell much about this story, but I really, because again, music is vibration, and I guess I met one person who said that he didn't listen to music at all.
At all?
At all.
That's grand.
Any music. And I think he might be a killer.
That's huge. He doesn't listen to any music at all?
Any music.
Okay,
well,
that's
he was a teenager
huge.
when he was answering the question.
Sure.
It was he.
So I do...
Him.
I do
Why
have a question
him?
that's somewhat related to what him said. I think there are music people... Sleep. And there are non-music people. I think I listen to music. I have my favorite artists. I have my favorite songs. I love music, yeah, but I'm not a music person. I think I don't like. I have never really. Now I'm kind of making myself, and I'm discovering so much with audio. But like, I would love to be a rock star one day, and I think I can sing and whatever. But I'm not a music person. And as much as you are, and there's other people I've met in my life that are just like music touches them in a way that it doesn't touch me.
I think it does though.
Yeah, but it's I don't know how to like put it into words, but you're a music person, and so I'm curious as to like with this character's like journey with music, how are you gonna put people on? Like, are you gonna include a soundtrack with it?
I want to write music for this.
Cool.
I want to write music for this. And I hopefully, yes, like I know the production of it will be really expensive, probably would be, even if it's not a big production, it still would take money and more time because I would have to create authentic music for it. But also I know that I could cheat just by using, I'm gonna explore different musical artists. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I know for sure that music is the main, well, one of the main, and friendship is the other. And again, for different reasons. Maybe one day I'm gonna talk about friendship aspect of it, but music definitely is there for me. Is what I want to do.
What was the first song, album, I don't know, that you remember being like, oh my god, about? Or genre, or
probably
instrument?
I always liked rock. I always liked like rock, but not like heavy metal, like pop rock or like rock. Not pop rock, no. Well, my music taste was structured by my dad. Like your mom helped you with love and music. My dad helped me with love and music. And so yeah, like this is Red Hot Chili Peppers. Have Red Hot Chili Peppers have Donetsk flag, my native town. So yeah, I love music. Sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, I love music. No, vibrations are interesting though.
Yeah.
Remember that thing we came across that one time? Remember that one thing that one time that you and I talked about once?
That's it. No further explanation. I do remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. No, I really do. Okay.
In this conversation of religion, actually recently for me, have vibrations and frequencies been an active part in my understanding of the cosmos? Like within the past maybe year and a half, you have been a big influence on like me thinking about that. But yeah, frequencies are crazy. Sometimes I sleep with frequencies. Our brain is literally made of frequencies. There's frequencies everywhere all of the time that are constantly affecting everything. And I was like thinking about how in church, Catholic church, am I fine to say Catholic church? I don't know. In churches, everywhere. In religious, in houses of religious worship, they sing and they chant together. And they are all hopping on one frequency vibration at the same time and speaking affirmations, speaking positive things to the thing that they love. How powerful is that? Man, it's so powerful. And like I didn't grow up religious, but my family's fairly religious, and so the few times that I would go to church, that's like the best part of it was for me. That's what I remember being the best part of it. And I love that that's practiced. There's also that Scythe series. That there's a book series. It's called Scythe. It's fantastic. Everybody should read it. It's fantastic. It honestly like helped me cement some of my ideas about what the world is and what it means to be a human being and like religion. It's a fictional series, but it's great. And there's a religious group there that is incredibly like bent on. They really believe in frequency, and yeah, it's just really interesting how it's just kind of sprinkled in everywhere, but no one really talks about it until you start talking about it, and then you see how big of a thing it is.
Yeah. By the way, really a little bit of selfish moment. I was thinking if I should do it, but I think I should. July 12th, I guess my song is coming out. It's like the first single.
Plug it!
Well, I think...
where can we stream it?
Everywhere.
What's the name under?
Everywhere. Well, this is gonna be a Ukrainian song, and the name of the artist is Dasha. Nothing else. I'm not gonna talk about anything else.
Good for you.
We'll see. I don't know. Well,
Dasha's music is fantastic.
Well, Dasha, not that song that I'm posting out, but it's another story.
Okay, I do want to say though that so like Guitar Hero. Nope, that's a game.
Garage Band.
Thank you. Yep.
Guitar Hero.
Oh, Guitar Hero kicked ass. Do you ever play Guitar Hero?
No.
Oh my god. Fake guitars, fake drums, fake microphone, fake bass.
What is real?
Joy. Your the good times that you have. You can create your own punk rock characters. Anyway, that's not important. Garage Band. Dasha's really good. I'm just gonna say that you're really good.
Thank you. Well, yeah. I'm not that good though.
Yeah, you made the theme song for this whole shtick we got going on here.
Yeah.
All Dasha. It's pretty damn good.
I did. Well, maybe one day it's gonna be posted. I don't know.
It's inspiring.
I just need people who will help me with this because I don't want to do everything by myself.
Yeah. No real. It's really inspiring, Dasha, though. I think before I came to NIFA, I didn't know if I viewed myself as an artist. I've always viewed myself as an actor. But
wow.
But I didn't really view myself as an artist. There was Claudia Chung's English composition class really changed that for me. She made me view myself as an artist. But you are so casually exploring multiple art forms all of the time. And like when you draw, it's like you're sorry, I'm like hyping you up right now.
Yeah, thank you.
But when you draw, you are just kind of drawing and it's really good. And when you write, it's very, but all of this is done very casually without you being like,
but you also do that.
I'm gonna do this. Everything. I know, but I didn't realize that what I was doing was art.
I also don't think that I'm doing like art, but also probably I do.
But I just think that makes us like artists kind of through and through, and that's really cool.
Yeah. You know, talented people are talented in everything. That's how we say it.
Excuse me.
Okay. What is the question that we had for the end?
Oh, who would we cast?
Who would we cast?
I mean, I would cast... I was kind of half thinking, who would we cast in our Given Circumstances project?
Let's
trademark, by the way.
Maybe...
Trademark that name. Patent it. It's patented.
Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah.
It's a great name.
Gone. It's already gone. It's already official.
But I would just cast our friends.
Yeah, why would we say title, though? Why would we completely... We'll probably have to bleep a title.
Yeah, every single time.
Giving blip. Giving bleep.
Whoa, giving bleep? Whoa. No, I would just cast our friends, though. It was written for them.
Yeah. Well, we answered the question.
Easy.
That was an easy one.
You want to clap it out?
It was a cool day.
Yeah, cool day.
It was a cool day, long
Very explorative day. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody.
Yeah,
appreciate you all. Reminder of lotteries. You can come chat with us. Thank you to our team.
See our titles.
We're working and growing.
Yeah.
Let us know anything you want to hear us say or talk about. I was going to say do, but don't. You don't get that much control. Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram. You'll see every update's there.
Mm-hmm.
Follow our Instagram. Follow our guys that you will see in the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for your time and support. We had 6 hours of shoot. Love y'all. And have a great
life.
Create, do art.
Love.
Don't
get off that damn phone. Yeah. Except unless you're watching In Our Shoes.
In Our Shoes. We could write a book of our podcast. Okay.
We could.
1, 2, 3.